Hello and welcome to Leadership Conversation. Today we have with us a distinguished guest who's flown all the way from California. I'm super delighted to introduce Karine Allouche. She's VP and Head of Enterprise at Coursera. She comes with years of experience in running successful companies and leading enterprise accounts for Coursera. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Let me start by asking you that, this decade, Coursera has been the leading, skilling partner for most of the enterprise accounts in India, to the extent that recently in April, we have surpassed the number of learners in Europe altogether.
Yes.
So what is at the center of this remarkable achievement for Coursera?
Yeah, there are so many drivers, but I would say, as your first minister just said it, India is creating, the workforce of the future, not just for India, but for the world. And so there is an incredible appetite for learning. You have English speaking, tech savvy, audience learners, and they're really driving a lot of the upskilling and reskilling. There is not only appetite, but there is also skills that people can go and explore and build upon. And so that's why we've seen India being leading really some of the learning that we've seen across the platform.
Amazing. We are surely hungry for learning. So Coursera is straight blazing the skilling revolution in India and
Yes.
overhauling the tech skill gap,
Yes.
so as to say. And today GenAI and AI learning streams are the backbone for your skilling programs in India.
Yes.
So what is your transformative journey all about?
So I would say, GenAI is a transformative journey for everyone right now. And specifically, I would say for education players like us, not only in terms of the content that we need to provide, first for people to get acquainted with what GenAI is, and instead of seeing it as a threat, actually knowing that it's a disruption, but also part of the solution. And so first, we actually have a change in what content we provide, but we also have a change in how we're driving the learning experience overall. In India, as we have in a lot of other places, I would say online learning and remote work has increased and is continuing to increase, having I think the second population of remote workers.
Correct.
And with that, a lot of the skills and learning is about how do you use the latest technologies, how do you evolve your current role, and GenAI is doing just that. We have worldwide, 4 learners every minute in one of our GenAI course. Out of those 4, 1 is from India every minute.
Wow.
Learning about GenAI. And so a lot of people are looking at how can we expand our abilities being augmented by AI. And that's what our content right now is enabling to serve. First with GenAI for everyone, or just even we just released the Google AI Essential, an amazing course accessible to everyone to see how they can improve themselves, improve their productivity. And it's not just that, it's also improve how much they can make out of their job. We've heard some studies actually from some companies where they would pay 50% more for people that had GenAI skills. So that's how we are leveraging the GenAI, content and change of learning experiences.
So clearly GenAI is leading the pack. So zooming in a little more on GenAI based on your experience with global organization.
Yes.
How do you think GenAI skills boost productivity, innovation, and competitiveness in organizations?
So the first thing is GenAI is a way to augment individual thought process. GenAI can be a thought partners to organization. Actually, we just released as well, our CEO created a GenAI as a thought partner, which is actually showing you how you can be more productive at thinking through problems, at writing through emails, at preparing yourself for meetings. He gives some very specific example, and even thinking about your own job. and see how it's going to evolve and the skills you need to develop. So we have wonderful opportunities in creating additional creativity because GenAI can automate a lot of the mundane skills, the mundane activities we have day to day, which then enable us to be more creative and have more critical thinking and activities where we can bring the most of the value of every single individual. So we see that at Coursera because we are the first one actually integrating this, but we see that also as some organizations. We have L&T or Pricewaterhouse India that have been landing the first GenAI programs, specifically L&T, and PricewaterhouseCoopers looking at how GenAI is going to increase the value of every single consultant towards their customers. How are they going to bring more value in their engagement and enabling other organizations to transform themselves?
When you talk about emails, I'm reminded that when we talk to HR leaders, they say suddenly every employee is writing such better English when they're getting those mails. So, it's like, it's changing the way, things are being done. And it's making them so much better.
Yes.
So, the biggest thing that enterprises want today is a culture of lifelong learning and continuous skilling.
Yes.
And for that, we understand learner experience is critical. It is a cornerstone for any learning ecosystem.
Yes.
So, what are those future-ready techniques that can help enterprises to enhance the learner experience?
Yeah, and so that's why I was saying for us, it's not just a change in content, it's a change in the learning experience. GenAI gives amazing opportunity to increase personalized experience that even more relevant. The more relevant it is, the more engaged you are, the more you want to actually go through the completion of your courses. And so there are a few things that have been, I would say, incredible changes for us thanks to GenAI. The first one is Coach. Coach is a tutor that is on the platform 24/7. So imagine, we know we cannot have faculty everywhere. Like to grow the skills that we need, we have a shortage of faculty and tutors.
Especially considering India's population.
Exactly. And we've seen actually the biggest growth of India learners in rural areas. So there is even less access to such individuals. We have now Coach 24/7, knowing the content of one specific course. You can ask him to say, hey, I don't understand this concept. Can you help me? What should I do next? So it's 24/7 tutor available in your pocket or available on your phone. The second is relevancy. Some organization, specifically professional organization, are now able to leverage Course Builder, which is a custom course creation tool where people would spend probably 6 months in creating a course that is specific to their audience, that contextualized it for the company or the industry that they're in. Now they can do it in matters of weeks. And so we're saying that now we have the ability to support the learners, not only in having the right content at the right time, but with the right support in the platform. And I know in India, it's mostly English, but we have been able to use GenAI for, translation, machine learning translation, and we now have 21 languages we cover in all of our platforms. So imagine the power of personalizing for you in your own language. We see 85% increase in completion for those courses that are in the language that matters for you.
Interesting. So, learner experience is an equation of personalization, having a coach, customization, the timing, having, learning in your own language. So really, that's wonderful. So, India has become the hub for global organizations. And for India to continue to be a hub, we need partnership of government, academia, and enterprises to be able to boost the prospects of fresher employees, making them more deployable in the industry.
Yes.
So how do you think this really works, and where is Coursera in this equation?
Yeah, actually, I'm seeing incredible development here. That I'm lucky as part of the head of enterprise to not only have Coursera for business, so working with companies, Coursera for government, and Coursera for campus. And so what I'm seeing right now is, I actually was yesterday speaking with one of our campus partners, saying, how can I do more with enterprise? Working with local regions or even local state departments, saying, those are the skills we need to develop. We have this company that is implementing itself in our regions, and they're making programs with us to get the skills and really the talent pool that is necessary for the implementation of those organizations. So the power of those three, this is what I'm calling it with my team, is incredible. And we're starting a program with one of the states actually next week.
Which state is that? I mean, if I don't
Yeah,
mind asking.
I would love to give you the name specifically. I'm not sure of the pronunciations, but I will definitely give it to you.
Okay, wonderful. So, you have a very inspiring career in technology.
Yes.
So, what would your advice be for women in tech? How do they balance their personal and professional lives to have a thriving career?
Okay, so I will say there is one thing, it takes a village. And when I say it takes a village, is you need to have an amazing support system. I can never do it on my own. So I would say the first thing is how you select your partner if you want a family is very important, because the support and the supportive nature of that person is important. But it's not just that. You could also not have a partner, but really have a support system, friends, others, that enables you to be free to do the career and the activities you want, but also making sure that everything else that is important in your life is taken care of, because otherwise you cannot be fully present. So being able to be fully present is number one.
What is Coursera's vision for India in the next 2 years?
Oh, as you said, India now is bigger in terms of learners than Europe is, even in terms of getting the number of access to GenAI. We have more learners in India than we have on GenAI than we have in the US. So, I'm talking to my team regularly and saying, okay, going big in India, what do we need to take? And so for us, it's very clear. It's continuing to work with all the actors, so not only the governments, and supporting them in developing, the skills in the states that they need, geo-targeted, high-potential careers. And then also working with the institutions to support them not only with gaps in curriculum they have, but also bringing some of the content that enables to have people that are more job-ready going forward. And then working with corporation to then make sure that they have all the tools to continue to upskill, reskill, so that they can retain their talent. And so when we work on those three, this is how we're going to continue to support the vision of India to bring, the workforce of the future, not just for India, but for the world.
Yeah, and that's a great picture. So, Karine, anything that I may have missed asking you and you would like to share?
Actually, maybe I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you think GenAI is going to impact your role, and how are you looking at upskilling?
No, that's wonderful. So, very honestly, I would say that, of course, we are using GenAI, we are using ChatGPT, which is easily available, and it's the free version.
Yes.
And it does help us when we put a prompt, to share the first level of content. And then, of course, we can work on it, we can improvise on it, and it is really reducing the time we take to, deliver projects. So that's definitely one thing there. Training would be that, we can enhance our skills in putting the prompt.
Yes.
Because there is where there is still a miss. So, sometimes it's a hit or a miss.
Yes.
With training, probably we can enhance our prompts. And then, of course, use a higher version and, whatever comes
the
next.
Applications.
Yeah.
And I would say it's so good that you're sharing this, because prompt engineering or prompting now is like something we need everyone to know. And this is one of the key course that is being used on the platform from Vanderbilt. It's prompt engineering. And so, yes, you're already on that wave. You're already on that wave.
Yeah. So it's just, procrastination that is stopping. But I think maybe today I should really explore that.
Exactly.
So, Karine, it was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
We all agree India has a huge youth population.
Yes.
And it is only through skills that they, their productivity and their careers can boost, and India's growth can remain and become bigger pace.
Yes.
So it was really wonderful having you.
Thank you
so
for having
much
me.
for your time. And that's all we have today. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.